How are you, Cooper?
I'm good, Rich. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So how are things different this year than last for you?
I think really just having a comfortability in this offense with the guys on this team, having returned 10 of 11 guys offensively. I feel like we're kind of grouped together and understand each other's games, and I think that's just a big part of it. Just that comfortability with the offense, comfortability with the guys, and even just having more snaps under my belt. I think that's just a part of playing in the NFL. You just kind of are able to let it pick up on the speed of the game and the way that defensive schemes are different now than they are in college, obviously. And so just being able to pick up on that, I think, is a huge part of it.
How thick is a playbook? How thick is it?
We don't have a playbook with the Rams, so we just roll with it.
What do you mean you don't have a playbook? It's in a
yeah. Well, I mean,
iPad?
the playbooks just in your head. They're not passing around playbooks for us. So we just are expected to learn it and understand it, and that's just how we do it.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if you're now. I feel like I'm around the periphery of the perimeter of the area code of having you tell too many details out of school, Cooper. Am I picking something up here?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if I were to write down our plays on a playbook,
yes,
I think you'd have a pretty good sized chapter book.
Now I know you're a young man, and probably I don't know if you've ever had a phone book in this day and age in the 21st century. Would it be as thick as an old school phone book?
I think I could make it as thick as a phone book for you if you'd be interested in some good reading.
Well, I am, because again, one last thing here is just so how do you learn it? You see it on you get to where the facility and they put it on a board, or is it on an iPad for you to take home and then not leave in a front seat anywhere? I
mean things are installed. Guys learn things differently, but everything is going to be installed, obviously diagrammed for you. But just kind of the notes that you take and just understanding concepts and the way that we can adjust things and tweak things, and one play can turn to 6 plays pretty quickly with just a few tweaks here and there. And so just for us, just being able to be a smart player and understand what coach is trying to get done, and allows us to kind of be able to be a little more fluid with our plays, I think.
Cooper Kupp, Rams wide receiver here on the Rich Eisen Show. Did you see the video that went viral of your coach being able to tell exactly what down distance play everything was from like 3, 4, 5 years ago? You just give him a down and a distance and on against an opponent, and he off the top of his head he remembers exactly the play call. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's not super surprising for us guys that have been around him. That's kind of a norm. He'll be telling a story and just like, oh, I gotta show this to you guys, and he'll just pop up the exact play, knowing he'll go straight to the play with the exact time and situation, and doesn't matter how far back it was, he's got locked. And it's not even, a lot of times it's not even the plays that he was calling or teams that he was coaching for. It could be just a random team that he was just a game that he was watching and be able to recall exactly what happened.
Come on, really?
I think that's the next challenge. I think next interview needs to be pulling up just random games. They'd have to be obviously important to him.
Yeah.
In some way, a good play or something, but he remembers the good stuff.
So what about anything other than football? Does Sean McVay have a recall like that, just in terms of?
I'm not exact. I've never seen Coach McVay outside of the facility, so I don't know. I don't know that he lives life outside of football right now. So he probably does, because there's probably not a huge. Probably not a huge part of life to really recall. That's not football.
Well, I mean, it could be just like what'd you have for dinner 3 weeks ago? When you were like, what movie did you see when you were in February of 2016 on a Wednesday night, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, those are the kinds of things I think you'd have to stick to. Where did you eat?
Mm-hmm.
What time did you wake up?
Cooper,
did you sleep?
Cooper Kupp here on the Rich Eisen Show. So the biggest difference between year 1 to year 2 for you so far would be what, do you think? Adjustment for you.
I mean,
seems like I stumped you.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing really. That's a huge adjustment, I think, from year 1 to year 2. like I said, having returned so many players, staying in the same offense, hasn't been a huge adjustment. It's just been, like I said before, just continuing to get more comfortable with the guys, mastering the offense, and just, continuing to understand the coaches, not just the concept, but really what we're trying to accomplish with each one of them, and the intricacies that there are within each play. That's just been, I think, the biggest difference is, not just going out there and running the play, but running the play with the purpose.
And there's a couple of stories I want to hit on you from the summer, hit with you right now. First one was that there was 0 preseason snaps with everybody on a football field together. 0. And how that might manifest itself. And then there was, I guess, that choppy, if you will, first half where you were losing against the Raiders. Was that difficult? Can we draw points, a line between what I just mentioned right there, Cooper?
Me personally, being in this offense, being here and being part of that game, and I really don't believe that played a role in it. If you go back and I think as an offense, came into halftime feeling like, okay, we've run 21 plays. We feel like we're moving the ball efficiently while we're not putting up points like we wanted to. It was really, not finishing in the red zone the way we wanted to. And, little things here and there can make a big difference. But we felt like we were moving the ball well, and that when we stepped on the field that we were going to be efficient with it. And so for us, I felt like coming out of preseason, we got so much good work in practice. Obviously, some good practices against the Ravens there during training camp that we felt confident heading into that game. So, as an offense, there was no point for us that we felt like, oh, we're rusty or we haven't gotten this, we just haven't gotten it clicking yet. We felt like we were rolling. Stats aren't going to show it because, a lot of our offense that first half came from 2 big pass interference penalties, and obviously that's not going to show up in the stat book.
Right. And then secondly, the opponent that you had in front of you on that Monday Night Football, the Raiders, traded Khalil Mack right on the beginning of the season rather than paying him, and so much of a conversation was how that would deflate the locker room and leave guys scratching their heads that maybe after an 0-2 start they still are in Oakland. In your locker room and your team paid your defensive stud in Aaron Donald and got him in, and he is there for a 2-0 team. What was that? Was it meaningful for you guys? How meaningful was that signing for you guys on the outset of the season, Cooper?
Yeah, I think anytime you have a player like AD, being able to get him back here, and as a team, we knew that what an incredible football player he was, and how much better we were with him. And obviously, everyone on this team wanted to see him, and you were pumped that we were able to get him back for that first game and moving forward here. So huge thing, and I can't speak too much on how it was for our defense on the defensive side of the ball not being over there, but I know those guys were pumped to have him, and obviously our defense is phenomenal, and being able to go up against those guys every single day is a huge blessing for us as an offense. Okay,
what's more likely, Cooper? Jared Goff wearing one of the wide receivers' gear to a press conference like Ryan Fitzpatrick did after a win, or you celebrating a touchdown, jumping into the end zone like Marcus Peters did? What's more likely, Cooper?
Jared wearing some receiver clothes. That's definitely much more likely. Definitely much more likely.
You will not celebrate in the manner that Marcus Peters did?
No, I'm going to leave that to Marcus. Let him do that. Let him go with that fine, too. I'm cool. I'm cool not getting fined for that.
Okay, you can grab a handful of footballs is what you're saying. That's okay. I could speak for you on that regard. Cooper, great chatting with you, man. Thanks for joining the show. Good luck with you over the next couple of weeks. And before you go, I'd like to play a game with you over the phone that we normally do with folks here in studio called Start, Bench, Cut here on the Rich Eisen Show, where I give you a choice of 3, and you'd have to start one, you have to bench one, you have to cut one. Okay? Okay, here we go.
It's time. Start now. Bench.
Just sit down and be quiet.
Or cut.
Chill out.
Okay, greatest wide receiver ever. Tim Brown, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice. What do you have over there?
I got Jerry.
Okay, then you start him. Then who do you bench and who do you cut? Yeah, this is the tough part here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna bench Randy, and then I'm gonna cut Tim Brown.
Okay.
I mean, I feel terrible doing that.
This is Cooper. You've now entered the zone of start, bench, cut on the Rich Eisen Show. Don't feel bad. Just do it. Just like a front office. Just do it, and then you move on. Don't worry. It's going to get worse. Don't worry. Okay. All right. Here's the next one. Well, actually, maybe this won't be so bad. Most important combine measurable for a receiver: 40 time hand size vertical jump.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I gotta go. Most important. I'm gonna say. 40.
Okay, the 40 time you start.
It pains me to say that.
Why?
Because I'm biased.
What'd you run your 40?
Probably not much faster than you.
Oh no! You got drafted. Come on, you had to be sub.
True.
What'd you run?
4.63.
Okay, that's not. Look, man, you're balling out. You keep proving that 4.63 doesn't really matter, but you're still starting it anyway. Okay, so what do you bench and what do you cut?
I'm going hand size bench. I'm cutting vertical.
Okay, the vertical gets cut. Best thing Los Angeles has over Yakima, Washington: weather, food, or friends? Quote. Friends in quotes, because Los Angeles here.
I'm going to go food, weather, friends.
Okay. Yeah. I understand that on Los Angeles. Last one for you, Cooper.
Okay,
most impressive Gruden: John, Jay, or Sean McVay?
John, Jay.
Who does the best McVay impression in your locker room? Does somebody have one yet? Or you're not?
Sean Mannion, always.
Sean Mannion does a good one?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. Hey, Rich, I got to get into this meeting. You're going to get me into trouble here.
Take it easy, Cooper Kupp. Take care, brother.
Rich.
You guys, Cooper Kupp.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.